A lot of the kind of ancient wisdoms suggest that we're all one, we're all connected, everything, we come from a complete source of oneness and stuff like that. Well, I suppose if you divide that oneness, or it is possible to divide one or whatever, but would that then dilute all of the experience that one could have, say?
You see, the thing about coming from oneness is the suggestion you're not one. You've come from oneness and you're going to go back to one. No, you're one now. There's nothing else. There's only oneness. So you're just asleep to it. That's all it is. So it's not like you can leave it or return to it. And there's that lovely story of Humpty Dumpty. He sat on the wall and had a great fall and broke into little parts, and then all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. Well, Humpty Dumpty may have fallen off the wall, but he still remains one. He can't be anything but one.
Well,
He might as well. He thinks he's fallen, and he has apparently fallen, but he's still one.
so all the parts are still Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's still Humpty Dumpty. There's just a few more parts, I guess.
It's just we are one now. We're just one now. But when you fall asleep, you could dream that you're not. You could dream that, and that's all it is. So when you come back to the point prior to the moment when you fell asleep, then you're one, just like you're one. And it's not possible not to be one. You're one. It's a trick. It's a massive trick. But you have to see that the one has had this thought. The one has had this thought. That's all it has. And then it's got to unthink that thought. It's got to undo that thought, because that thought's not true. That thought's just not true.